My name is Anushka. I am 25 years old, and currently I'm studying at the University of South Pacific in Masters in International Relations and Diplomacy. Yeah, and also a research intern at Fiji Women's Rights Movement.
Do you want to be a decision maker? At what level or where?
Yeah, I do want to be a decision maker. I think that at the national level would be because I believe that young women like myself need our voices to be heard, and because we have different experiences from other young women, and I think each individual has their own opinions on different issues. So yes.
How was your experience of voting last year in 2014?
Surprisingly, my experience was actually good. I've heard a lot of people who have said that their experience wasn't as great, but where I voted, it was quite easy. I voted in like 5 minutes and it was done, and there weren't actually any issues. So yeah.
What do you want your 2018 experience to be like?
I think the 2018, I want more women, young women, to be represented in the elections in all levels, be it during the electoral process, also in the parties as well. So yeah, just more representation of women, and also for programs to start where women are educated on their civic duty as well.
As Parliament meets, what do you want them to do?
Well, I think more would be to figure out how they can bring about more awareness on issues that women are more become part of. For example, education, in terms of higher education and the scholarships given to them, I guess. Also, the sexual health, education on sexual health, I think that needs to be really targeted, because right now in schools and everything, sexual health education is not focused on a lot. So I think that's a big issue.
What are your top 3 national budget priorities?
Well, the first issue would be education, the budget. Second would be on health as well, women's health especially. And third would be on focusing mostly on young women's issues. Yeah.
I am Betty and I come from Lautoka.
Do you want to be a decision maker?
Absolutely.
At what level?
My long-term vision has always been national level, but I do not mind regional level. I am working at regional level, so it's kind of cool that way.
Tell me about your 2014 elections experience.
I did not vote. I was out of the country, but I was in the country right before elections, and it was an interesting feeling to be around people who were so excited to be voting again.
What do you want to see for 2018? Do you want to see a longer voting period so that, say, if you had travel, you could still vote? What do you want?
No, I think that was okay. I think I was out of the country for a bit. But I think what I would like to see is more... I think the electoral information thing, the ballot voting thing came out a little too late. I was in the country and it was 2 weeks. That was when it came out. And I think people weren't very clear about how to use it. I think I'd like to see that being spread over a longer period. I think electoral system-wise, they were pretty fine with the voter IDs, and I think people were pretty happy with the system back at home. So yeah, I think that was fine.
How about Parliament? It's meeting next month. What do you want them to be talking about or doing?
I want them to be not looking into things that we can do without not looking into for a while. I want them to be looking at things which directly affect, like say something like the development goals, as opposed to something very materialistic, which is considered very urgent right now. But maybe we could look into how, like, the Millennium Development Goals haven't been met, and how we could, like, as Pacific Island nations, contribute to developing goals.
You know, as usual, budgets always prepared for the next year.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 budget priorities?
I would like to see a decrease in military budget for sure. I do not care where it goes, because I think we can really redistribute that money. I would like to see an increase in education and obviously gender advocacy.
Hello, I'm Khaleila. I'm also I was part of the second Fiji Young Women's Forum, and I'm here part of this workshop as a participant of the Emerging Leaders Forum 6.
Do you want to be a decision maker, and at what level?
Of course. Well, after the workshop, which just took place I've never really wanted to become a decision maker at local government or national government level, but now it's definitely a food for thought, and it has become an option, a career option for me personally. But right now, decision maker, yes, of course, at home and wherever I work in the future.
Did you vote in the 2014 elections?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to elaborate about your experience in the 2014 elections?
My experience, well, I was also a polling day worker in the 2014 elections, and my experience was varied. I was, as a voter, it was okay in the sense of like the process. I was more informed because I attended the training as a polling day worker. But in terms of civic education, I think I needed more civic education. But as a polling day worker, my experience on that was very hectic, considering the short amount of time we were given to be prepared, and also with the thousands of voters that came into a polling station. Considering the short span of time given to us, in carrying out the electoral processes during the polling day, it was very, what should I say, unorganized, in the sense that, you know, people were coming, joining in the lines for like an hour or so, trying to cast their vote, and then realizing at the last minute that, you know, they were in the wrong line, so they had to go back and line up again. So yeah, my experience was varied.
So coming up in the 2018 elections, how do you think that these challenges can be addressed?
Firstly, more civic education for the citizens. I think that's a major factor that we need to touch on. And also, considering my experience being a polling day worker during the 2014 elections, I suggest, you know, more intense and advanced training or workshops, you know, considering that you'll be the officials with like critical roles to play.
As Parliament meets, what would you want them to do?
I'd like Parliament to focus more on the health systems, maybe look more into the budget of health in our country, considering that, you know, women, we have difficulties accessing our health facilities, information and medicines. And yes, I'd love Parliament to maybe have more admissions or increase in the national budget, and you know, accessing education and our employment opportunities for young people.
Hi, my name is Miriam Khaleila from CNBC, and I'm 29 years old, and I have 3 beautiful children.
Do you want to be a decision maker, at what level or where?
I think every woman is a decision maker. If it's, I definitely would want to be a decision maker. In which level? Probably not right now, but in the long term, I'd like to see myself at either local or national level. I just feel that even at the home, you know, women are the alphas, and men are the beta in any relationship. So we're naturally inclined to handle stress better.
How was your experience of voting last year?
It was my first time to vote. I was quite excited, and I was looking forward to the lead up. There was a lot of thirst for knowledge, and there was a lot of curiosity about the different parties and what were their manifestos like. So leading towards election day, I felt kind of disheartened about how the whole process was. But nevertheless, I voted on the day, and I felt happy regardless of how democratic the whole process was and how transparent it was. But you know, there's still a hope, and I feel the move for Fiji to go into that election was a stepping stone for the next one. Maybe this elections was not how everyone anticipated, but I have an optimistic feeling about the next one.
So as Parliament meets, what do you want them to do?
The next meeting for Parliament, I'd really like to see them in whatever motions that they are coming up with, or whatever issues that they're going to table and argue about and debate about in Parliament. I really want to see our ministers of the day including young women's issues and thinking about how it affects young women as well, because young women, we are the ones who are directly affected by these discriminatory social norms. And so I'd like to see them talking about how it will affect young women. I'd also want to see the ministers having more lively debates. I feel like there's not much lively debates going on. If they can be more aware about the parliamentary process, because they're MP and that's part of their work, not just depending on training. So if they're more aware about parliamentary procedures, then there'll be more like lively debates going on about national issues, and not petty things about what's unparliamentary talk. We don't want to see about that. We want to see them debating about actual issues.
So what are your 3 national budget priorities?
My budget priorities as a young woman is what affects me day to day, which is family health, sexual reproductive health rights, more money inclusion, for the maternity ward at CWM, more access for young women, 2 health centers in the rural areas. So definitely health. The other one is the economic empowerment of women. There should be some budget set aside to try and encourage young women to get into entrepreneurship schemes. We want to see more young women successful in business, something that will nurture young women entrepreneurs. The other third budget priority is education. I've got 3 young children. I think education is really important for the empowerment of young people, especially young women. I think there should be a budget allocated for the reform of the curriculum, more access for younger girls to enter tertiary, and I think scholarships should be brought back for them. I don't think it's fair that our young people today have no choice when it comes to scholarship, when it comes to the topper scheme, and they are chosen by the government what they should study, and it's unfair because a young person should be able to choose what they want to study and pursue their goals so that they'll come through with it, and do something that they love and they have a passion for.